Hello everyone! I'm here to bring you the second video on the channel with more posts about nice guys. This time, I decided to change the video format a bit. I hope you like it.
Sarah, I know that you probably get hit on a lot by random dudes and that you are annoyed by it, but I still hope that you read this message. You have a really inviting smile, and it seems that we are interested in the same stuff. I don't want to be creepy, but somehow I just had to write this message. I would be happy if you would reply. If not, I respect your decision. Regards, P.S. Saw you on FB Dating.
Why didn't you just send this message on Facebook?
Because Facebook is harder, and I thought I would love to connect with you.
Definitely creeped out.
Sorry about that. Not my intention.
You could have just messaged on Facebook. Instead, you most likely found me on Facebook and now know my last name, and then found me on here? Or did it go differently than that? Either way, you took the anonymity and choice from me rather than send me a message and hope I answer. Word of advice: don't do that to anyone else. It doesn't prove you're eager, it proves you're a little weird.
That is your opinion, and you are entitled to your opinion. A matter of the fact, I have gotten women before reaching out to them this way. You can think any way you want, and I am sorry you feel that way. But you are dead wrong. Have a good one, and again, I have success doing this. In fact, you are the first one to react this way. It is kind of funny you are giving me advice. What you could have done is said no thank you and move on. But instead, you decided to be mean. Thank God you wrote this message. Saves me time.
LMAO. Okay, dude.
It is not okay, dude. I can send countless messages where it worked. Maybe you should readjust, and when a guy approaches you with just the desire to know you, maybe that is why you're still single.
I'm sorry that you're so hurt that I was direct, not mean. Maybe that's why you're still single.
In this case, I think we have a much stronger nice guy archetype, in the sense that at first he seems very respectful and he pretends he's going to respect your boundaries, but when rejection comes, well, his mask falls off completely. To start from the beginning, we see the first message, which apparently is on Instagram, meaning this man saw the girl on Facebook dating, and judging from the conversations, I assume he only knew her first name. Somehow, he managed to figure out her last name, and not satisfied with that, he also found her Instagram and decided to message her there. I have a suggestion. If you don't match with someone on a dating app, there's a reason. Looking them up on another social media platform is questionable, especially if that person never shared their social media on the app. Continuing with this, I find it interesting how in his first message he says, "I don't want to be creepy." Because guess what? Deep down, he knows what he's doing might make the girl uncomfortable, but he does it anyway. Then, but somehow, I just had to write this message. You had to? What exactly forces you? What part of your brain disconnects and makes you do something that your rational side is already telling you could be creepy? Moving on with the conversation, the girl asks him why he didn't just message her on Facebook. Honestly, I've never tried Facebook dating, so I don't know if there's an option to message directly or if she's referring to Facebook itself. If it's the latter, I really don't understand why this man says it's harder. Either way, this guy really wants to connect with her, even against her will. And I'll repeat, if there wasn't a match, there's a reason. Maybe because she wasn't interested enough in you to match back. I don't know, just a wild and very far-fetched guess. But clearly, our user didn't like it at all, and she says definitely creeped out. Either way, she points out again that he could have messaged her on Facebook if he saw her on Facebook dating, but instead he decided to do the harder task. He already had a social media platform he knew she used, but he wanted more. So he took it upon himself to find her Instagram and message her there because it's harder to connect on Facebook. This man clearly doesn't understand what boundaries are. Sharing your personal social media with someone should be a choice because you don't know if you even want to keep in touch with them outside the dating app. But still, he finds 2 of her accounts and decides to message her anyway. Personally, I think she's completely within her rights to say how she feels, that she doesn't like it and that it makes her uncomfortable. In fact, her message was direct and firm, but not rude. She said, "I don't like this, it's creepy, here's some advice, don't do it again." If he were a man with any common sense, he would accept how she feels and move on. But we're in a nice guys video, right? His whole message is honestly unbelievable. Remember, in his very first message, he said he didn't want to be a creep. He said that because he knew how the girl might feel, but then he's somehow shocked when she says, "Yes, you're a creep." And on top of that, he doubles down and says she is dead wrong because he's dying countless women with this method, straight out of Barney Stinson's modern-day playbook. What exactly are you trying to tell me with that? That you can't get matches with women naturally, so you have to stalk them until you find their private social media, then send them unwanted messages, hoping they'll be impressed by your chivalry, even though they weren't interested in you enough to match in the first place? And at the end, he writes, "Thank God you wrote this message, saves me time." Saves you what time exactly? This girl was never going to go anywhere with you anyway. She didn't even want to talk to you until you forced your way into her inbox. After this trademark nice guy's emotional outburst, she's like, "Okay." But he's like, "Nothing okay, dude, about this." This is hilarious because you can clearly see in his message how offended he got. At first, it's like, "All right, you can reply if you want. I respect your decision." And now it's like, "I don't respect your decision to reject me for forcing my way into your inbox. You shouldn't reject me like that. You should reject me the way I want, and that's why you're single. And plus, I have the right to send any messages I want." And even though this man assures us that his valuable and super effective technique has worked for him, for some reason, he's still single and still trying to find women to terrify with his messages.
Well, that would be all for this video. I think if there's something these videos are teaching us, it's this. Don't use dating services. 2 back-to-back experiences on 2 different dating sites, coincidence? I don't think so. Jokes aside, I think this video has been a bit shorter. I'd like to start adding viewer comments at the end of the video so I can react to them as well. So if you'd like to appear in the next video, feel free to leave a comment. I'd also like to thank my new subscribers. Once again, thank you for being here. See you next time.